There we go. We are almost live. I was doing some rearranging for this behind the scenes studio and forgot to turn up the volume on my microphone. Hey everyone, welcome. We are live. You let us know that you're watching live. Of course, I know many of you catch the replay, but those of you that are here, let me know that you're here. I see some of our true and faithful members that are always here. Welcome everybody, glad that you're here. I'm really excited about this today. I am going to be showing you around the room. In fact, we've got a second camera set up right here, and I'm going to be kind of showing you behind the scenes here so you know the setup that I have. I might even need to flip on a light in this room so you can see that a little bit better. But yeah, so what we're going to do today is I'm just going to kind of walk you through my studio. Now, a few things to point out before we jump in. And by the way, those of you that are here live, if you've got specific questions or you want me to go back and explain something, feel free to ask, because I'm going to try to cover everything, but I might skip over something. You might see something and go, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Feel free to ask, because people watching the replay are probably also going to want to know the answer to the question you have. So feel free to ask them. So we'll be here for as long as it takes to kind of walk you through this setup. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. So we don't have PowerPoint. There's no slides. It's Jonathan walking you through the setup. I absolutely love this setup because I can come in here, hit a button. I can go live with all of you. Everything is connected. You can see I'm standing. So I'm going to talk about this desk that I have that lowers and raises, and I have my camera set up right on a mount so that it's always the same distance. We're going to get into all that stuff. But before we do, let me make a couple of pointers. Number one, I didn't start here. So you can just start with what you have and begin to upgrade over time. I'm also going to provide a link. And let me see if I can do this on the fly here. The link, because I was going to add this in. So let me just add this in here, right here. Right here is the link. So if you want a link that directly to the items that I'm using, camera options, microphone options, the computer monitors I'm using, the lighting I'm using, all the links are right here. jmill.biz/livestreamkit, all one word, and save that link because that link, and if you're watching the replay, we'll put the link below the video, but save this link because you can always come back to it later and upgrade your system over time, okay? So with that, let me give you a few pointers. Pointer number one is I didn't start here. I upgraded over time, and that's totally fine to do. Number two is if you do have the investment or the budget, or you do want to make the investment to just like get yourself to a place where you know video, either videos that you're recording for YouTube or videos you're recording for a course or videos live streaming like I'm doing here, you know that is one of the methods that you want to use, then this setup that I have can give you the most fully powered video studio with good quality camera and mic without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. Okay, for a couple $1,000s, you can have this setup that I have here. That I think people are amazed when they think about the quality of the camera, the different microphones that I'm using. You guys can have that same setup. It's really that simple. So we're going to walk through this today. And again, if you have questions, just put the capital letter Q. Give me your questions for those of you that are here live. And we'll answer as many of these as we can. Okay, so with that, we're going to jump in. I'm going to kind of walk through our setup here. And I'm going to switch over to this camera because I'm going to be using this camera here to kind of show you around, show you a little bit of what we got here. So let me flip on the light. Well, the light doesn't look too bad right now. Maybe we'll just try to go with it. So if you want to see how I am looking, this is what I see right now. So let me kind of show it down a little bit. That is my view. So I have a Mac Mini. That's this right here. Kind of show you that. It's a Mac Mini M1 chip, which is super fast processing power. I absolutely love it. So let me grab, I'm gonna make an adjustment here. Hold on 1 second. Sorry if it's a little shaky, but this will help me to be able to move around, and I'm just holding on to a tripod here. So this is my view. This is my setup. You've got my camera right here. We've got a shotgun mic right here, and I'm gonna get into all of this. We have my key light right here. I have dual screens, and they're kind of curved screens. So this over here has my setup so I can see what I'm doing, right? So I've got you guys right here. I can see your comments coming in. On this side over here is kind of a little bit of like different scenes that I can move around to. Over here is just I can put whatever I want. If I want to share my screen, right now I've just got Fast Track Lab there. I can show you this. I'm just going to give you the big picture and then we'll get into it. But I use and I just bought this back in December. I was just working off my laptop, but I bought this Mac Mini, and then I bought 2 computer monitors that aren't not Apple, but they were a little bit more affordable, so I could get a more higher powered, more memory, I should say, on that. And then of course, I've got that set up here with my keyboard and my trackpad. I tried to do an Apple mouse, but that was, I don't know, I didn't enjoy that. This right here is a Elgato Stream Deck, and I can do certain things. It's hard to see because it's, maybe I can zoom in a little bit more here. Looks like it's just too bright to see, but like this one, I can flip off the light. So when I push this, my light just went out. So this is my key lights out. You can program this to start up certain programs, switch scenes that I have up here. I can do different things here. Let's see here. Again, big picture overview, and we're going to get into it. Over here is what I use for the audio. And again, I did not start with this, but the reason I have this is because I've got 2 microphones here. The first microphone I have is this shotgun microphone. This is a Rode NTG4, and it's a shotgun mic. So I don't have to wear a microphone. Okay, that's the first microphone. The second microphone I have is this one right here, and this is a Rode Procaster. Again, I have all the links to the actual ones I have in that stream kit. Now this is on a swivel so that I can just swivel this in. I can bring it over right into the shot, and now this is my view. So when I'm doing podcast interviews, sometimes most of the time we're on Zoom, and I am doing the interview just like this. So I'm going to push this out of the way, and then I can just kind of slide that back. Then I've got controls here. So for the podcast microphone, it's number 4 for me. Number 2 is the shotgun mic. So that is how that is kind of set up. Okay, we're going to get into some more specifics. I'm giving you the big picture overview. We're going to come back to a few things. This that I have here is just a desktop I got from IKEA. I got this a couple years ago, and I love it because it's got this electronic up and down. So if I push this, it's moving it down, so I can take it all the way down to sitting position. Now, I love this because in the mornings I tend to sit, and in the afternoons I tend to stand. I like standing when I'm doing podcast interviews or classes, so I bring a little bit more energy. I also, and this is kind of a little hack, But I also have, I stole my kids' carpet sliders. So I put my kids' carpet sliders on here so I can easily slide this around. You can see me move it. It's so easy for me to slide that around. So, hey, there you go, carpet sliders. So this is the simplistic, minimalistic, everything I need is right here. Now, one more thing, because I know many of you know that I like to use the iPad to draw on. So what I have is right here, I have just this cable that'll hook directly into my iPad right here. And then I will use my Apple Pencil to draw on the iPad while I'm doing the live stream. So let's talk about the camera. So this camera right here is a Sony a6400. Now, you guys that are here live, I'm going to attempt to go around the back, but because this shotgun mic is right here, I might be able to rotate it. Let me know if my audio completely goes out. I'll try to turn it up a little bit more so it picks up my voice, but let me know if you cannot hear me. All right, I'm going to turn on the light here so we can see a little bit better. This is the back part of this. Now, first of all, this right here is the Sony a6400. You see how, and hopefully you can see this because I can't really see what you guys are looking at. Hopefully you can see this. It's got a bunch of numbers and things on that. What makes this camera work, and I'm just going to come back around here. What makes this camera work right here is that it's a mirrorless DSLR. So that's the key. All right. This, I've got a link again in the stream kit, but I think I paid around $1,000 for this camera. Yes, it's certainly an investment, but you could see the quality instantly when you look at it. I am on a webcam right here. So, hey, this is the Logitech webcam, and it does pretty well. So this one runs a couple $100. I think this is a 4K Logitech. I have a link to this one in the stream kit too, if you want. All right. So let me show a little bit more on the back side because this is kind of where some of the magic happens. So let me see if I can set this camera in an angle, and I'm doing all this on the fly with you guys. So let me just see if that's showing you kind of what's going on back here. I'm going to take it down just a little bit more. So it's a little bit more of a rat's nest down here, but if you look at the very, very bottom, I really only have two cables. I've got one cable that's going to my wall down here to plug it in, and the other one is just a hard wire in the internet. So a few things I want to point out. First of all is this box right here. So this box, also in the stream kit, is, think of this as like a multi-connector. So if you're wondering, like, how do you connect the camera, the microphone, your monitors, all this stuff, it's all right here. This is a kind of a multi-outlet. So if you have a nice DSLR camera, you need to have this little cam link. This cam link is what allows this camera to become a webcam. So I forget how much it is, but it's in that stream kit. That's how that works. And then all these different connections are, one's going to the iPad, one's going over to my audio interface. This, of course, is going to the camera. Some of these are going to the monitors. Okay, so there's that. So this is just like, think of it like a multi-connector. It can connect USB, it can connect all the different ones, USB-C, that sort of thing. All right. Now, this right here is where the magic happens. So what I love about this is called an Elgato arm. So this arm that's holding my camera is connected to the desk. I love this because whether I'm sitting or standing or whatever I have my desk elevated, the camera is always in the same place. And then notice how I've got the microphone just kind of mounted on top of the camera. Same thing with the key light over here. So the key light is also connected right to the desk. So that's a little bit about how that looks back there. Okay. let's see. And you guys throw in some questions. If you've got some questions, let me know what questions you have. Let me talk a little bit about the software I'm using here. So this is Ecamm Live. And in fact, what I can do on this one, this will be probably a little bit easier. Let me switch the cameras back. What I can do here is I can say live demo mode. Turn on live demo mode. Okay, now you guys can see the entire screen of what I'm looking at. So you see you can readjust these windows. You can decide which ones you want to keep, don't want to have. These, and again, this is for the MacBook only, or Apple only, all right? So you're going to need to use something else. I would recommend like StreamYard is one. There's some other ones out there. If you want a little bit more high-powered one on the PC, there's one called vMix, but I've not used it, but it is a couple $100. But this right here, I absolutely love because I can set up my different scenes. So if you look all the way over here on the left, I can scroll through the different scenes. I can say, hey, you know, here's our class from last month on how to use Atticus to write your next book. I can jump over to the countdown timer. So there's lots of options. I can also switch scenes. So if I want to switch to this camera, I can switch over here to that camera. I can switch back. If I want to share my screen, I can click up here and share this screen over here. In fact, let me share this screen. Let me show you this page right here. So this is, I took some time to update this today. This is a page just for you guys. This is links to all the things that I'm using. So there's the camera I use. There's the lens that I'm using. It goes on the camera. This is the cam link that is going to help make your nice camera a webcam. This is the Logitech Brio. So this is the secondary one I was just talking about. That it is good quality and it's a good place to start if you're not ready for to invest $1,000 in a good camera. This is the mount right here that my camera sits on. See, I can screw that on right onto my desk so I can get the right adjustment for my camera. This is the key light that I have, also from Elgato. Absolutely love that. This is the exact computer that I'm using with 16 gigabit memory and a 2 terabyte storage. Absolutely love it. I'm really loving these monitors. So I have two. They're both kind of curved, so it creates one big, nice setup. This is that CalDigit that I was talking about that kind of connects everything together. This is the Rode Procaster Pro setup. This allows you to have multiple microphones, more than one, kind of connected in if you want. This is the podcast mic that I use for my podcasting. This is the shotgun mic that I'm using, so I don't have to wear a microphone. This is the little Elgato Stream Deck that you can program, and you could program it into different scenes and start different applications, create different folders. I didn't show you this, but this is the teleprompter that I have. It's stored away right now because I don't use a teleprompter all the time. But I do have the ability to hook this teleprompter on, and then I use an iPad to show the words on the screen while I'm doing that. Before I used this one, this was the ring light that I was using. It does not mount to the desk, so this would be, it comes with its own tripod all the way to the floor. And then I used to use this for my shotgun mic, so for this mic right here, but I no longer do because I have it hooked right on to my camera on my desk. All right, so let's see, what else? What else do I use? Another thing that I've been using is this little Bluetooth. Now you can get any of these, but this little Bluetooth remote works awesome. And here's why. Because if I have this on, it can work with my streaming software. Oh, I'm still sharing this and not my screen. Sorry, everybody. So you're still looking at it in demo mode. Well, you'll be able to tell, like watch when I do this. When I do this, see how it moves over on the far left side, back and forth. So I could have my scenes set up if I am presenting or I'm teaching or I'm doing a video, and I can just say, hey guys, did you miss our class last month? Well, here's the class. How to use Atticus to write your next book. Then I can flip back if I want. I can go back to the main screen, and I'm doing it all while holding this. So I've been using this a lot lately with my Market Your Message show by having my scene set up, ready to go. So I'll show you down here if I go down a little bit further. So why Kindle books and audiobooks? Well, step 1 is to gather Amazon keyword ideas. Step 2 is to find popular Amazon keywords. See how it's just going to the next scene? Now, what's really cool about these is I can just create these. In fact, let me show this to you. I think you guys might like this since we're getting through some of this at a pretty good pace. Let me first of all take you off of live demo mode. And then let's jump. We're going to go over and let me show you this. So I use GetStencil, absolutely love GetStencil, and you can just go to getstencil.com and, let me log in. We use this all the time. So see, I created this. This is a perfect example. I have the YouTube thumbnail, and then I typed this up. This is just like a white box that I put right here, right? I uploaded my transparent logo. I've got this text right here. And then now when I download this, all the checkered is just saying that it's transparent. And so what that ultimately looks like when you're done is this. So it looks exactly like I have here. So this is just an image that I added right on. So you can come up to the top of here in the menu and say add image to the scene, and boom, there it is. It's that simple. So that's what we'll do a lot of times is if you see me create things like this, is I'm just creating it in GetStencil and just add, it's that simple. It's really, really easy. All right, let me turn this down a little bit. Okay. Phil says, nice poster I have never seen before. Oh, the Back to the Future. So let me come back here to main. And I think you were talking about that poster. Yeah, there's my Back to the Future poster. Yeah, it just doesn't show up in the scene. By the way, if you want to know a little bit about the scene back here, like what I have back here are just these, let me see if I can show them to you, is these blue lights. I'm going to see if I can grab one. So this is just a blue light that that you can use with this. Let me grab it over here. You can use with this little remote, and I can change the color. So say I want it to be red, and it's probably not picking up that good on there. I want it to be green, or I want it to be blue. I can adjust those, and so those just kind of sit back here in the back and kind of create that whatever colored effect you want back here. And then we just had fun making this an 80s theme and going and grabbing all kinds of 80s stuff. As you can see, sometimes you can't always pick all this stuff up, but we've got VHS tapes and Coca-Cola bottle caps and an old camera and all kinds of fun stuff. Over here we got some baseball cards and some old figurines and all kinds of fun things over there. So, all right, let's see what questions you guys have. Just going to pop back over here. Rich has a question. All right. I have a stand-up desk and I used a desk mount for my mic and iPhone used as a camera. Yeah, but I noticed the mic and phone would bounce when it bumped my desk. Have you had a problem with that? It can. So you want to have, this is where you more than likely, you're going to want to buy a really sturdy mount, because even if I hit the desk, pretty hard, you can see it kind of shake. So you do have to be aware of it. But depending on the quality of that tripod, if it's a little bit thinner quality and it's kind of top heavy, it'll shake a lot. In fact, the first tripod I bought did that. I tried to use the Elgato tripod mount that came with a ring light. However, once I attached my camera inside of the ring light, because I was trying to get away with just having one tripod instead of two, if that makes sense. Not really tripod, but two mounts like I have here. So again, if I switch over here, you can see I've got two, and I was trying to get one that had the ring light around it so I didn't have to have the second one. The problem was the camera on the ring light swayed too much. It was too easy for it to kind of get jolted a little bit. And yeah. So you can have that problem. I promise you, if you get the one that is in the Livestream kit that I'm using, it's very sturdy. It's like solid metal. It's worth the money just to get it nice and solid. Phil says, I would also think the heavier the desk, the less bounce. Maybe you could add some weight to the desk. Yeah, that might be a possibility as well. All right, what are the questions you guys have? Now's the time to pop them in. I've got everything here that I use. Let me see if there's anything that I've not really mentioned. I mean, the one thing you guys may have seen that is not a requirement, sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't, is, let me hit my other camera here. If I turn this around, you may have seen these. So these, there's one there, and then there's one over there. Those are kind of shadow lights. So what I can do here is I can turn this on. And see, now it's on, and it can provide a little bit more lighting into the shelf. So let me just go past the camera here. You'll notice, like, let me turn this off. So there's lighting that's kind of lit up the shelf. If I turn that off, it's not lit up as much, right? But you know what? Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. So like right now, I'm not. Sometimes I like to use, have it a little bit darker in the background and lighter here because it creates more contrast. And so it's all about your setup, what you want. All right, let's see. What else do I have to talk about? I mean, that is the bulk of it. So let me show you one other thing that I really like about the Ecamm Live. So, I can't show you actually, but I was going to show you all the different places that, so down here where it says finish, down here it will say, do you want to go to Facebook? Do you want to go, and then once you choose Facebook, do you want to go to one of your pages? Do you want to go to one of your groups? You can choose YouTube. You can choose LinkedIn. You can choose, there's a bunch of them in there. Twitter. And then it has a record only feature. So what I love about that is, and actually I might be able to show you one other thing real quick. Let me take this off the demo mode. Let me share my screen and see if this should show up. If you click on Configure Stream Deck, now you guys can see this right here, right? So what this allows me to do is I can choose what my buttons are. So again, this is the Stream Deck that I have where I can choose the buttons. And what you see, the buttons that are showing up there are the buttons you program here. So for example, this record one, if I click on record, it will open up more buttons that you can program, which is really cool. It's kind of like a folder. So again, let me show that to you. If I click up, these are folders that you can create. So this one's just for record only. So when I am recording for, let's say, a course for my Insider program, then I can, right here where it says finish, it actually, when you're not live, it says record. So I can just hit that button, and then these are the three primary things I'm using when I'm doing a course video. I'm either going from main to screen to iPad. And I can choose different scenes here. I can go previous scene, new scene. I can move it around. This is for my light. If I want my light to be a little bit brighter, you can see my light's getting brighter on my video there. So, so that is a little bit how you do that. But you can program these, which is really cool. So for my Market Your Message Academy, I've got it just really simple, main, screen, or iPad, and I can just flip back and forth between these three scenes. It's that easy to program. When we did the 5-day challenge, I had my different scenes here. For my Market Your Message show right here. So this has my main camera, the iPad, the screen, my final intro, outro. So if I were to smash that button, it takes it to the outro screen or the discover scene there, or my free book offer, or anything else that I want to do. If I want to have my lighting go down a little bit, I can just kind of click that and it's going to go down. So you could program all of these whatever you want. I even have one to turn on Ecamm Live. So I'm just scratching the surface on the Stream Deck. The truth is you could do a ton of cool things with it. But I just wanted to show you a little bit of that you guys might like that. All right. Phil's got a question. The hookup for the iPad, are you familiar with ways to add to PC? I tend to use Loom for recording, for Zoom, or Zoom for meetings, but I've not looked into it. So if you're using Zoom, there is a place under Share. If you go to Advanced settings on Share, so like when you go to share your screen and then you go to Advanced, there is one for connecting your iPhone or your iPad. It's pretty easy. And I think you can do it wirelessly or wired. So definitely Zoom can work for you. I'm not sure about PC because you've got a Apple, you got more of a Mac product and a PC product, and sometimes it's hard to get those to communicate together. Dale, what would you recommend for a minimum configuration for a Mac Mini for starting out? So this is what I would do, Dale. If you're going to do the Mac Mini, I would say at least get an M1 chip. If you at least get the M1 chip, whatever the cheapest one is, and really it's going to come down to the memory. So I paid extra to get a lot more high-powered memory, like the 2 terabytes. You don't have to do that. The most important thing, if you're going to be doing videos and streaming, is to get the M1 chip because it is Apple's new chip that processes so much faster. So it's not going to have as much lagging. Some of you who have been seeing some of my live streams in the past, you knew that there were times where it would get laggy, right? Or it would get kind of interruptions. That was because I was trying to broadcast such a high quality camera using the an older Mac laptop. So that's why lately, if you've seen some of the streams, since I've got this newer M1 or Mac Mini set up, that these streams come through a lot more clear and there's not as much buffering, so to speak. Is the Stream Deck for both Mac and PC users? Yes, it is. So Stream Deck's not just a Mac product. It can work on a PC as well. So when you get the Stream Deck, by the way, there is a smaller version. The one I have here is like the 15 keys. There's a cheaper one that is like maybe 6 keys, I think. So you don't have to get the one that's 15 keys. There's one that's just 6 keys, which honestly, if you create folders, you have more than 6 keys if you think about it. So you can have 6 times 6 if each one's a folder. And then you could, honestly, it could be endless because you could go from a folder into another folder, into another folder, the more I think about it. So, yeah, I mean, 6 keys might do the job if you want to do something a little bit cheaper, but there's either a 6-key Stream Deck or this 15-key one that I have. And when you get it, it'll ask you to download the software from the main Elgato site. And I think you can choose PC or Apple when you do so. Awesome. Good question. So Dale says, in the past, were you connecting your Mac laptop to your dual monitors? No. So these dual monitors that I just showed you, I bought with the M1 or with the Mac Mini because it doesn't come with a monitor, right? So I bought these separately. But there's something that I use, and I'm glad you brought it up because I want to talk to you about it. Let me see if I can find it. Store it away. Now I don't have this on my stream kit, but I probably should add it. You know what this is? This is really cool. What this is a portable monitor. So it's by Lepau portable monitor. It kind of looks like an iPad, doesn't it? But it's not a computer in and of itself. It has this ability for you to configure how you want this, so I can set this up. So let me see if I can show this to you. Let's see here. Might have to switch cameras so you can actually see what I'm looking at here. But basically, let me try to show this to you. I was going to try to set it up. Basically, you can have this sit right next to your laptop, and it just has a cable that comes with it that hooks into your laptop, so it becomes your second screen. And you do not need any more power, so it's powered by the laptop, but it becomes a second screen for you. This is what I was using up until December-ish when I upgraded to the 2 monitors. I used this with my MacBook Pro. And it worked great. So this is just a cable that connects here that connects directly into the laptop. And what's cool about this, and the reason why I still have it, let's say I'm traveling. So if I know I'm going to be out of town, but I know I want to do some work, or I know I might do a live stream even though I'm on the go, this becomes my second monitor. And I think it was about $70. So it wasn't that expensive. Because again, it's not a computer and it's not an iPad. It's just a portable monitor. So you can take this portable monitor, configure it, set it up like you would an iPad, right, where it's kind of on display. So it sits right next to your laptop, and it becomes that second screen where you can drag stuff over to the second screen and work off of a 2-screen dual monitor option. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, guys, any last questions? Let me know. We're going to wrap this up. We I think I've covered everything and kind of walked through it step by step as much as I could. Hopefully it wasn't too much information for you, but you have this video now that you can keep going back to if you want to look at my setup, you want to see how I've got things configured. But like I said, I absolutely love it. I can walk right into this room. I can hit a button to turn on the light, flip the camera on, open up my eCam, and I can go live with all of you. Got my microphone, everything is set up, and it's just a video studio that I can absolutely just walk into, and it's always ready to go. It's not like I have to go get the tripod out and mount the camera, and then I've got to fiddle with the lighting and I've done that before, okay? Many, many times where it would take me 30 minutes to get like everything set up just to record a video. But now I can come in here into the studio, hit a couple buttons, I'm live, right here with you, and technology becomes more effortless. I'm able to just do what I love, which is to teach all of you and to help you as you guys are going out and making a difference in other people's lives. So thank you guys for being here. I truly hope that this was helpful and encouraging. Again, I would look at the live stream kit and I would try to find, well, what's at least one thing? Because there are things on that list that aren't very expensive. You can just start there. Or I want to get the camera, and then eventually I will get the next thing or the next thing. So that's what's important, is you can have the kit as something over the course of, between now and next year, you could end up having the same setup that I have here, just by every month upgrading a little bit more of your technology, and you'll have the same setup ready to go. All right. Hope that was helpful, guys. Thanks for being here. And we are going to wrap this up. All right, everybody, take care. Have a good day. We'll have the replay up very soon if you ever want to go back and watch it. Until then, never forget, your message matters. Have a good day, everybody.